Welcome back. We are speaking to Honorable Minister of Technology and Research, Professor Tissa Vitarana, and we were speaking about the role of science and technology in economic development and how important science and technology is. And he specifically mentioned that Sri Lanka, as comparing with other developing countries, is using only 1.5% of high-end technology. And also, when you look at the budget, only about 0.14% is allocated for science and technology, as opposed to other countries who are going in the economically development route. So on that context, Professor and Minister, now you were saying you were actually focusing on the role of the state as to why there has to be an attitudinal change and why the state has to look at allocating more funds to this portfolio. And in that note, you were referring to the fact that there was actually no proper research and laboratory facilities.
Yes, as I mentioned, we don't have a single laboratory that is of world class. If you look at Singapore, they have a whole complex of laboratories handling nanotechnology, which is the new wave of technology that is sweeping through the world, biotechnology, electronics. If you look at Korea, the same thing. The Korea Institute of Science and Technology. So that they have, as developing countries, taken the trouble to set up the facilities that will enable the, say, high-level research to be done, so that there will be maximum value addition to the raw materials that are there in the country. And it is in that way that they are able to increase their income through their exports. And the whole, shall we say, productive processors in those countries get the benefits of high technology inputs. And this is the way in which they are progressing. And as I mentioned, we have been lagging behind in all these emerging high technology fields, but in this context, we in our ministry, we were fortunate in that there are a number of Sri Lankans who are caught up in the new wave of technology that is sweeping the world, nanotechnology.
Okay.
And this technology is, shall we say, threatening or tending to alter science and technology itself. And there is actually a new, shall we
#151# Amathana. Mobitel Smart Recharge Bonanza.
The concept for the benefit of the
audiences. If you look at, say, the computers, the first computer was, say, even bigger than this room. Then with time, especially with the development of the silicon chip, the size of the computer was made smaller and smaller. And you find that as a result, by using the silicon chip, it's possible to get a whole computer into a wristwatch, into a mobile phone, into the various television sets and other apparatus, radio that we make use of, all the digital technology which has emerged. Now, the fact that the size was reduced enabled these goods to be developed. So in the same way, now scientists have gone very much lower down in the scale of size, as it were, and are able to manipulate at the molecular level, at the atomic level, and use particles, and that is why they are known as in nanometer size, and manipulate them. And you get products coming which have even new properties. For instance, if you take gold, which is, I know they are having some gold jewelry, and the golden color. Now, if you reduce them to minute particles and you put all those particles together, it doesn't show as golden color, it shows as red. So you find new properties coming up, and so that there is a whole new avenue of science that is opening up.
So I guess this is what you referred to when you were saying other countries who developed fast made use of that current wave of technology that was sweeping across the world.
Well,
and
yes.
I guess you are focusing on nanotechnology specifically is because that is the latest trend and latest wave.
Of technology. And so we were fortunate that Professor Ravi Silva, who is head of the Advanced Technology Institute at the University of Surrey, is there is a 5-man team in Britain that is spearheading the development of nanotechnology in that country, and he is a member of that team. And he, Professor Gehan Amratunga from the University of Cambridge, who is head of electrical electronic engineering there. There is Professor A.P. Silva in the University of Belfast. There is Professor Kumar Vikramasinghe, who is head of the Advanced Technology Laboratory at IBM and also in California University. Now, people like that are Sri Lankans who are working abroad, but who are leaders in nanotechnology. And now, Professor Ravi Silva came and he explained all the developments to me, and we went and met the president, and the president was enthralled by what was happening, and we decided to start a national nanotechnology initiative.
Is this, you're referring to Slintech by any chance? Or?
Slintech is part of that initiative.
Oh, okay.
The National Nanotechnology Initiative, cabinet approval was given, and the amount of money that that was required over a 3 to 5 year period was $64 million. And by investing this amount of money, it would have been possible to get a world-class laboratory complex in this field, which would enable a variety of industries to be developed. And this was our intention, but unfortunately, when there was inadequate funding, we had to interest the private sector, and that's where Professor Sirimali Fernando and the National Science Foundation played a leading role in that. And together with the various nano scientists, we have about 70 scientists who have been trained in nanotechnology in Sri Lanka as well. They have all rallied round, and we have, as a first step, set up Slintech, which is the Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology.
And it's a public-private partnership.
It's a public-private partnership. The private sector have come in. There are 5 of the major economic private sector players in Sri Lanka: Mars Holdings, Brandix, Hales, that is HACARB, Dialogue, and Lodestar. Lodestar is one of the principal exporters of rubber tires in the world. They have about 20%, over 20% of the world market, and that's one of the companies in the Jinasena group. So now they have put money, and the government has put matching money, and the two have enabled Slintech to be initiated. Mars Holdings gave loan of their building, part of their building, for that purpose.
So I guess that is a positive development, the fact that we are trying to extract benefits of the latest sweeping trend. But in that context, we can also focus on the role of the private sector, because it's equally important to look at the role of the state to sort of undergo this